So let's look at a few more posts in the Eternity section on the Korean Mabinogi website. So we have a few new posts here. There are two videos that we're going to look at. We're going to look at this video and this video. And here we can see some of the NPCs from Bangor. And here we can see Shattering Windmill. So this is what it looks like in Pleon Engine. And this is what it's going to look like in Unreal for Elemental Knight, the Shattering Windmill skill. So Shattering Windmill looks pretty good. I like the new look for sheeps too. And then we have this video here. So on the left side, they're doing like the tailoring skill. And on the right side, they're doing something with a mannequin. And that also looks like it involves using the tailoring skill, because you can see the tailoring skill icon above her head. And here we have a picture of what the Dragon Ruins just outside of Bangor will look like in Unreal. Like, here's the Dragon Ruins. And here are the buildings surrounding it. So this looks really good. I like how you can see all the mountains and stuff off to the side. I'm not sure what that is. It almost looks like a tent or something. Maybe it's just a weird shaped rock. So I'm wondering like what's going on up there. The ground is also pretty flat up there, so maybe there'll be new areas to move on. That'd be kind of cool. But it kind of looks like one of these wooden structures that are kind of around the Dragon Ruins. So that might be what I'm seeing like over here. Let's take a look at another Korean Eternity post. So this one's all about like face shape and all that stuff. So we had to make everything compatible with the existing live data, including hair, facial expressions, including eyes and mouth, and facial decorations. And this is what the current basic face looks like. And then down here, a wide face shape that cannot be escaped with pretty hair. So you can see that it still has the same wide face look as this one, but it's a little bit less noticeable because of the long hair. But the wide face shape is still a problem. That's what they're trying to show there. And Eternity basic face shape created based on the live basic face shape. So that's what this is. Even if you increase the number of polygons and touch up the bridge of the nose, is absolutely impossible to create a beautiful face based on the basic face shape. The default face is literally the first thing the user sees. It's the game's first impression. So the face shape created in this way is as follows. So human female character basic face shape created based on a face shape with a high nose. So this is what the faces currently look like, and this is what they have in Unreal so far. And this is a screen under development, and the final image may differ, but this will give you a good example of what things will look like. So this is Pleon Engine, and this is Unreal Engine. And you can see like the difference in the improvements in like the face for the character. Some people may not like the changed look, while others may like the changed look. Can we create graphics that will satisfy everyone? The short answer to that is no. There will probably be players that will like it and not like it. There's always going to be players that are going to disagree and not like the graphical change. But I think they're doing a good job keeping the graphic style as close to a Mabinogi graphic style as possible. What fits the feel of our game? What should we keep and what should we change? So I'm glad they're thinking about all this stuff, because it's impossible to satisfy everyone, to make every player happy with the changes. But I think they're doing a good job making sure that Mabinogi keeps its unique anime look without drastically changing. Okay, so let's look at another Eternity post on the Korean site. So this one's Anchor Rush Chain Slash Development. So this is about like chain blades and how those move and work. I'd like to introduce a work that naturally extended a chain using Unreal Control Rig. So in Pleon, you had to cram all the chain-related bones into the character bone and control them directly. And here you can see what all that looks like from their end, like programming that in. But now that we're using Unreal, let's do it like Unreal. So chain weapons can be separated from the character and managed independently. Plus, if you use the control rig that Unreal kindly provides, chain work becomes much easier, so why not use it? So cleaner, more flexible, more Unreal. Controlling the length of the Anchor Rush chain. So this is going to be about like the Anchor Rush skill specifically. And they talk all about how they did this. And here you can see how all this works. So a structure that is usually easy to control in a control rack, and the reality, so you can see the whole process for this, which is kind of cool. It looks like they're using a Kraken leg for this example here. I guess that would move in a similar way to a chain blade, so it makes sense that they're using that as an example. As above, I figured out that all I had to do was pull it to the target point with the 7 blades and position it. Since there are 7 blades in total, I tried placing the blades one by one from the starting point to the destination. Okay, so like blade 1 going to the target point, this would be whatever you're hitting, the enemy, and you do the same thing for each individual blade. The chain has really stretched to the target position. Sure, there were bugs where each axis was pointing in the wrong direction, but it was still enough to convince me it works. Oh, okay, and you can see what the chain blade looks like here, and then this is what it looks like when it's stretched out. So that work was being done for about 3 weeks after a bit of trial and error. So this is what Anchor Rush looks like in Pleon Engine, sort of. And then this is what it looks like after all this testing. I tried it and it was more natural than I thought. So you can see how smooth that looks. That's really good progress. Still, I was relieved to be able to apply it faster than expected. In fact, the reason it could end so quickly was because the weapon animation system was already implemented. Thanks to that, it was easy to apply because it fit perfectly, and I could focus on increasing the chain without worrying about anything else. For code work, you only need to pass the destination coordinates, and the rest can be done simply like this in the control rig script. Yeah, that's really cool. What if you weren't working with the control rig? Control rig basically takes into account the chain structure and automatically does things like if you turn this bone, the adjacent bone should follow like this. but if you implement it yourself, it's animation hell. It's not impossible to implement chaining without a control rig though, but the difficulty of digging is from software level. Yeah, so this looks like it was a lot of work to do. It's cool to see how this process works for something as simple as one of the many weapons that we use in Mabinogi for like one of the skills. I mean, this is just talking about chain blades and mostly Anchor Rush. Let's have another look at a post on the Eternity site in Korea. So, Final Dance in Eternity. I think some of you might have noticed it as you saw the image. The subject of this development log is the Xanafiedlion, so the final boss of Gen 1 in Albi Dungeon in Ternanag. So, production background, Mabinogi is a project that has grown together with our militians for a very long time. As a game that has been in service for a long time, there have been many big and small changes in Eren. I think the part where you can feel the biggest change is combat. Accordingly, there is a significant difference in battle experience between past boss monsters and new boss monsters. Examples include the Xanafiedlion from Gen 1, Final Chapter, and Myr from the Brelith. So here you can see like the Xanafiedlion, and then you can see the other boss that they're talking about. In Eternity, past boss monsters that appeared in the mainstream have been transformed to fit the latest Mabinogi battle grammar. We aim to provide battle content of a quality that will satisfy all militians. And this work began with the first boss monster that militians encounter after arriving in Eren, the Incarnation of Destruction, Xanafiedlion. So there's a cool image of him there. Battle formation. As a boss appearing in the mainstream, Xanafiedlion has many attractive settings. When reimagining the battle of Xanafiedlion in Eternity, the first thing that came to mind was to incorporate these settings into the battle. Xanafiedlion first encountered in the mainstream is summoned by Keyhole's plan. So here you can see like a mana ritual and the mana ritual gauge. So the main concept of Eternity Xanafiedlion battle is consciousness suppression. The militians arrived earlier than expected and had to wake the Xanafiedlion in an incomplete state during the ceremony. The militians' first objective is to fight this imperfect Xanafiedlion and stop the mana ritual in progress during the fight. So you want to stop that gauge before it fills up. And it looks like you can see that they're doing something with the gargoyle statues there. So those are actually going to be a part of it now. I tried to incorporate the settings into the background as well. Did you know that Xanafiedlion loves gold? The boss room, which serves as the battle stage, was designed to feel like gold, ore, and a ritual altar. So it looks like this is going to be the boss room. It's completely different now. It doesn't have that square shape anymore. It's more of a circle. And the gargoyle statues actually do something in the boss fight. So that's pretty cool. And they have that interesting design on the floor. And down here you can see the old boss room, what that looks like, the square shape with the gargoyle statues. So this looks a lot better. The gargoyle statues placed in Albi Dungeon boss room also have a role. In Eternity, it is deployed as a device to conduct the rituals and is used as an in-game gimmick. At this point, you will also be able to understand the purpose of the black beads. So yeah, this is what it looks like now, and the gargoyles don't really have a purpose. And this is what the gargoyle statues look like in Eternity. After struggling to stop the mana ritual and fighting the incomplete Glass Scavellon, you will enter Phase 2. Here too, we wanted to provide a new way of having fun in Eternity rather than simply moving the map and changing phases. You remember the beam firing pattern of the Gen 1 Glass Scavellon? So here they show off that move. Oh, and this is what it looks like in Eternity. Wow, that looks way better. After putting Eternity's imperfect Glass Scavellon in danger, it unleashes a powerful beam attack. In order to utilize the existing Glass Scavellon symbol pattern more dramatically in Eternity, I added several dramatic devices to compose the pattern. In this process, the Militians each created a battle flow that allowed them to respond to the patterns in different ways and disrupt them. So it looks like that's sort of like a interaction key, maybe pressing like the space bar, I think, it says space, and you can like stop the attack. It's kind of cool. Camera work that blends in with patterns that were not easily attempted in live performances cutscenes that naturally transition to phases after performing gimmicks, etc. We are exploring and trying out various methods to ensure that you can enjoy not only the combat gameplay, but also the visual presentation. I think this visual presentation looks great. This is a big upgrade from this. Like, if you compare these two images, you can clearly see the difference. This looks way more modern and way better. In Phase 2, you will battle Glass Scavellon, the reincarnation of destruction, who has regained his power through a mana ritual. There is a change in appearance as it awakens once to match the concept. In addition to the character mesh of Glass Scavellon, you can see an even more powerful appearance in-game with effects attached to the area around the Glass Scavellon's body. So, Glass Scavellon, the Incarnation of Destruction, original artwork. This is his original artwork. And then in-game, Glass Scavellon, the Incarnation of Destruction. So, yeah, this looks pretty cool. There's some amazing artwork here. Personally, I think it was cool when the bandages came off and the mask was torn, revealing what was hidden. Yeah, you can kind of see his eye right there. As he awakened as the Incarnation of Destruction, Phase 2 will proceed with the concept of burning everything. And they have a cool, like, portrait image here. And you can see all the houses and stuff burning. Seeing most of the fields on fire really gives you a feeling of fighting the very embodiment of destruction. We are also preparing boss patterns that we have not been able to introduce to you so that you can feel the setting of the boss monsters. We will do our best to ensure that you can experience authentic, immersive battles through Eternity, combining Mabinogi's uniquely engaging narrative and combat gameplay. So share your concerns. In addition to new combat content, Eternity is also preparing many combat-related improvements. Let me first introduce you to a few changes that were first applied to the Glass Scavellon. Let me first introduce you to a few changes that were first applied to the Battle of Glass Scavellon. First, there is a monster rotation. In Mabinogi, you can see the monsters bouncing around when they change direction. In Eternity, we've improved the way characters rotate directly to a different direction when their movement direction changes, making it look more natural. Okay, so we actually have two videos here. So this is what looks on Pleon Engine right now. Let's take a look at that. And this is what it will look like in Eternity. And that does look a lot better, so this will give you an idea of what to expect. Here, I'll play this one again. Secondly, there is the monster gaze. We also added an expression that guides it to the direction in which the boss is looking. I tried to structure the battles to make them feel more tense and threatening. It would be nice if this boss actually felt like a challenge again, instead of just like one-shotting him, because like that's what most can do. Like most can solo him and take him down in like 1 or 2 hits. In addition to this, we are considering various technical changes that can be incorporated into battles, and we will introduce them when the time comes. These technical changes are definitely something that can be done if possible. I think Militians will definitely like it. The biggest concern is the change in planning. The skills shown in the Eternity test demonstration video revealed at the 2025 Summer Fantasy Party, as well as the common evasion skills, can be viewed with similar concerns. The same goes for convenience in battle, such as how about adding a ping system to Mabinogi, or how about a system where skills on a cooldown are shared in the party chat. Among these, the most difficult concern is the direction of the battle. How difficult should Mabinogi's combat content become? Would action-packed battles suit you better, or would a battle focused on cooperative gimmicks be more appropriate? What if we considered the combat designs that allowed for different contributions within a party without fixing the roles of tank, damage, dealer, and healer? Eternity is a project that aims to become a game that can bring together all Militians who love Mabinogi. As mentioned above, we are looking back at the fundamental concerns and building up a solid foundation. So yeah, I think they're doing a really good job thinking about everything. I would personally like to see some more challenge in Mabinogi. I feel like a lot of the older dungeons and a lot of the older bosses just really aren't a challenge anymore, and that's kind of a problem. Like, the Glass Scavellin can be taken down solo in like 2 or 3 hits when you first start playing the game, and when you get to him, it's kind of ridiculous. And like the Armored Bear boss in one of the dungeons, like, he actually used to be a challenge 8 or 10 years ago, and now he's not. But this gives you an idea of what to expect for future boss fights in Eternity. Let's take another look at the Korean Eternity site. I need a boss room. A new boss room was revealed during this test. For those of you who haven't seen it yet, I'd like to talk about the process of creating it. Albi Dungeon and boss room with Glass Scavellin. There's the boss up there and the gargoyle statues. This new boss room is conceptually closely related to the Albi Dungeon and Glass Scavellin. So at the design stage, we tried to mix these two things. So you can see the different looks for the boss room that they have planned. It's going to be more round instead of square. It's going to be more of a circle. The overall concept was created by borrowing the gorgeous pillar design of Albi Dungeon, the design of the waterway flowing through the corridor wall, and the unique steel frame design of the boss room where Glasgavlin appears, and creating a blueprint for what direction would be right. Of course, there were other things to consider besides these concepts. This boss room is divided into 2 phases, and in phase 2 the surrounding area had to collapse and disappear, so the design of the surrounding area had to be arranged with things that could move fluidly, and yet we had to fill in this large space. So it looks like this is probably going to be stage 1 with the gargoyle statues, because there's like a new mechanic for stopping the Glasgavlin ritual involving the gargoyle statues that's talked about in the other post. So boss room, and entrance zone to go to the boss room. So this is really cool. You can kind of see like this is maybe an average room in Albi Dungeon. So the rooms won't always be square anymore, they can be more circular. And then there's a long hallway, and then like an entrance to a door, and then that leads into the boss room. So this is really cool looking. Although not actually deployed, the background was created to be divided into a maintenance area, a hallway, and re-entry zone. But doesn't the door to the re-entry zone resemble something? So yeah, it does look like the door that you find in Bangor Dungeon when you go to, in Berry Dungeon when you go to Turnanag. As you may have noticed, the door to the re-entry zone was built to have some connection to the door to Turnanag. Through this space you can meet the boss Glasgavlin. So entrance seen from the front, this looks pretty cool. You can see some broken pillars here, and you can see like the big boss sword with the chains on it. So how should our Glasgavlin change as he enters this dungeon? As you know, Glasgavlin has already been reborn and applied in 2 new forms in live performance. The writing had to have a different design from the existing friends. So here we can see 2 images. These look pretty cool. Completed Glasgavlin on the left and Ultimate Glasgavlin on the right. I'm guessing this one is the left image and this one's the right. They're not really right next to each other. In this boss room, Glasgavlin will change in phase 2. Oh, that one looks really cool. You can see how his mask is completely gone. You can see both his eyes. The original drawings for phase 2 of the script that were created in this way are as follows. So it looks like this is what they're going to go with for phase 2. Phase 2 original artwork. This dungeon was only revealed during this test, but you will be able to freely visit it after it opens. Here Militians will encounter the newly renovated Glasgavlin and experience a new combat experience. So yeah, this looks pretty awesome. They're making a lot of changes to the way the final boss of Gen 1 works. So maybe he'll finally be a challenge again. Alright, let's play some Mabinogi today. So we're gonna do some tech missions, the veteran dungeon. Just a couple dailies. Might do some commerce today too. How long do I have on that speed potion? An hour and a half? Yeah, let's get this Nearite from here. So we'll probably do like 3 or 4 tech runs today. Let's get some speed potions from here, because these will be helpful for commerce. Can I make this one last longer if I stack the other two? Where did those go off to? I think I want to open those.
한숨 돌리고 이랬으면.
I have no idea where those speed potions went. Oh, they're there. Okay, we'll stack all those together. Perfect. Okay, yesterday when I got like 9, well I think it was actually 8 spirit stones from this box, the game froze for like 5 seconds and then crashed. Let's see if that happens again. It did happen again, wow. Okay, so that makes the game crash for some reason. I have no idea why, but like the same thing that made it crash yesterday made it crash today. I guess I'll just have to try opening less of those boxes when I get them. I'll test that over the weekend, because opening 8 or 9 of those boxes at like one time is enough to crash the game. It still actually opens the boxes, like the spirit stones are here, but that's weird. Funny little glitch. At least that does give me like more confirmation that it's on the game's end though, and like it's not some sort of computer problem that's affecting other stuff, which I'm very happy about, because I don't want to replace a really expensive computer part at this time. So I can live with this small glitch. And we have a few over here too. Okay. We're gonna give all of this to my Knuckles, because I'm trying to get that spirit weapon ready for the future Arcana that will hopefully be here in August.
이 편지는 제법 잘 썼네. B+.
Okay, let's take a look here. We need 9 points for that.
좀 쉬었으면 좋겠어.
Go and get 30 more bond with her. Perfect.
다음 분 접수하세요.
I think for the new skills, there's like a new, new chain skills for the Fury Fighter from what I saw. So I think there might be like a new, like first combo that you have to use, and then like the new third combo option for the Arcana skills are going to be like just like F3, so there's going to be a F3 combo for all those. And then there's like a buff skill to power up, so I don't know. Yeah, if I could get rid of like Ice Bolt or Lightning Bolt. I could get rid of Respite too. Respite's useless. I think they should rework that skill. I think they should add Dan ranks for this to make it better. Okay, well there's time to plan all that out later. Let's go find out what the vet dungeon is today.
Okay.
And we'll get the normal daily dungeon here too. Why not? What do we have? Berry dungeon. So we'll run that if the veteran dungeon also turns out to be berry dungeon, or if I get an unlimited veteran Foamer pass from the vet dungeon. I gotta pay like over 40k gold just to get access to a dungeon pass. It's ridiculous. Okay, we have math dungeon today. I think I want to get the vet dungeon done first, and then we'll do like techs after, and then we'll do commerce last. That's sort of the plan. So let's see here. Let's switch to this gear and then dual guns and staff. I don't know what I'll combo Fury Fighter with. Probably Mage, actually. Like, I'll probably just equip a Knuckles, a pair of Knuckles, and my staff as well. Like, Meteor is still one of the best skills in the game, and Time Shift just makes that even more effective than it already is. Switch to Arsenal Gunner here. and I think we're all set. Okay, let's get started. Use this pet buff to boost movement speed a little bit. I've also been thinking about like getting some of those fragments to like get some of for like over here. Get some of those relics so I can like increase demigod's abilities, make it last longer and stuff. I don't know. I might start working on that next week. And time for the boss. So I think we have, what, 4 of them? Oh, and they're all pretty close together. Oh, 3. Okay. Get it over here. Use that. We're gonna get that one first. Okay, he's down. Fine, we'll get both of them at the same time. Do that. $15 minutes and 9 seconds. Okay, let's switch to Dark Diviner. And we're gonna do some tech missions next. So really quick, I'll be right back and then we'll start doing tech stuff. Alright, let's go do tech missions. So we're gonna go to the Senmag. And I'm gonna do like 3 to 4 tech missions. Because we have 4 Neurite. Probably just do all 4 of them. Let's use Spell Walk. Activate Mana Shield and heal up a little bit. Okay, so that's 4 tech runs. Let's go ahead and put the checks in the bank here. Get a little gold off that. Where's the other ones at? There, there, and there. Oh, that's going for about 900k. I don't care, let's just get rid of it. I'll make it 700 then. Doesn't matter. Speed the spear. Gotta use these spirit gems on something. What kind of event dailies do we have going on? Hang on, let's complete that. Add mission, method, Alpha Delta 1, I don't care about those. Okay, let's go see Eunice real quick. We'll do event stuff and then we're gonna start doing commerce. Shortly after that. Okay, so now we just still have that daily where we get her the sweet chocolate spice. So I just need to do a grocery store part-time job, which is around noon. Let's switch to all bags. We're gonna do some commerce. So I want to work on my Bangor rating right now, so we're gonna do that. And we'll use a few speed potions, since we have those. Okay, Highlander ore, that's worth the most at Tara right now for 292. So that's where we're gonna take it. I'm not gonna take it overseas. I guess I'll work on my Tara rating too since I'm here. So we might be going right back to Bangor. The way we came. 446 over there. It's also worth a lot in Tur. Let's take it to Tur. It's worth the same amount. Well, actually, it's worth 459 in Cop. I could take it there. Nah, we'll take it to Tur. Good enough. Alright, a level 6 merchant rating for Tara, that's good. So let's go back to Bangor, we'll do more trading from there. Still trying to raise up this level. Let's get some Highlander ore, we'll take that to Tara for 284. Or Tailton for 286, that doesn't really matter. Not much of a difference. A level 6 Bangor rating, that's great. So I want to get those up one more level each. I guess I should also work on the Tailton one eventually, but I'm focused more on the Tara and Bangor rating for now. I can probably get those two up to level 7 before the next trade season begins, which will be nice. Let's get those ancients. Let's keep doing things evenly, so we'll go back to Tara, and we'll start another trade from there. Okay, I guess we'll take these to Bangor, and then we'll trade from there next. So yeah, we're pretty much just gonna do commerce for the rest of the stream. Like, it's time for Xanafiedlion to focus on that kind of thing. Might start doing some Grandmaster missions again, too. So how much XP do we have on our Tara rating? 24.2%? That's not bad. Let's grab some more stuff. Take some Highlander ore. We're gonna take that to... yeah, I guess Tara for 285, then we'll do another round from Tara. So we're just kind of moving back and forth right now. Alright, let's sell the stuff here. And really quick, I'll be right back, and then we'll do another trade run from Tara. Alright, let's do a few more rounds of commerce. So back to Bangor. Alright, we'll work on commerce later. How many event coins do I have right now, anyway? Oh wow, we have 460? That's a lot. I don't even think I'm gonna do that daily. I don't really care. Because this is enough to pretty much get everything I want from the event shop. So we're gonna get this for 200 coins. I guess you can only buy one of them. Still like 260 coins. I guess I'll get the chair item too then, why not? Since I have the extra coins to do so. Let's go and put that right over here. And that's all I really want from the event, so there's no real point in doing the daily for it anymore. Let's take a look at some tech skills. Wait, these are all level 10 now, okay. Oh, Fate Weaver. Or Tenacious Taunt. Yeah, Tenacious Taunt is actually pretty close. Let's go ahead and get some of these. How long do I have to use this? 12 days? And we have 12 days on that Forgetful Potion. Alright, that's good. Whoops. Pull this open. I don't really care what tech skills I work on right now, I'm just sort of trying to level everything up. Alright, we'll wrap up the stream a little early here for today. But we'll start doing some longer commerce streams when the next trade season starts up. So, I'm gonna get a lot more into commerce when that happens. Right now I'm just slowly trying to boost my merchant ratings to get ready for that. But yeah, we'll be streaming Mabinogi again on Tuesday.